I need to share a part of my story in a way that I never have before. Not just because it's too personal, but because I wasn't sure I was ready to share it right. I've lived through seasons that broke me. Loss, betrayal, shame, doubt. My life didn't go according to plan. Years where I asked a question I never thought I would ask. God, where are you? But this isn't just a story about suffering and meaning. This is a story about what grace can build upon outside of that. My faith has played a huge part of my life, but it's been a wild ride. I grew up in obscurity, in a small place where most people haven't even heard of. A Mexican Catholic family, the youngest of 5. My parents immigrated to the US back when President Eisenhower was still recruiting Mexicans to come over. It was all done legally, and it was a really different world back then. They came to build something, to work hard, and reluctantly left their extended families behind. Life was humble, simple, and honestly, beautiful. We didn't have much, but we were rich in love, tradition, and community. Out in the country on the flat plains, you could see the whole town off in the distance with only a few thousand people that lived there. I learned to work, taking care of land, animals, learning what it meant to earn, to take care of what has been given to me. Faith was woven into everything for our family. The food we ate, the practices we kept. It was familiar. It was home, but it was more ritual and comfort. I didn't really know God on a personal level. That changed on a confirmation retreat I was on as a teenager. I had my first real encounter with God, and it scared me so much that I pushed it back for almost a year. I'm a sensitive person, and by that I mean I feel deeply, and I feel it all, often to max volume. Then came August 2nd, the summer before my junior year in high school, at an event in Tucson, Arizona. I still remember the day. I experienced something I can't fully put into words. What I felt was known, fully known. Loved in a way that nothing in this world had ever come close to. And from that moment, I saw life differently. I saw it as one who was in love. My heart burned with love. I gave my life to God, and I did it with my whole strength. At one point, I thought I should be a priest. I didn't know many men on fire with their faith who weren't priests. So I went and discerned, but God made it clear that it wasn't my path. That season of feeling like I had been rejected by God was the first real crack of doubt. I had to rethink everything I believed about life, faith, and work. But I've always been decisive. I wasn't going to be a priest, so I wanted to get married and build something. I wanted to get to work. So I did. I went into design, entered the workplace, and a serious relationship, married young. I was all in. I came back to my faith fully committed. Youth ministry, pastoral counsel, starting organizations, leading others. From the outside, everything looked strong. And then over the course of several years, everything started to break. The relationship I had built my life around broke for many reasons, including her betrayal on multiple levels. The suffering and the details that happened were ugly, and I'll keep them private, mainly because it reveals about people that are not mine to share. The outcome was that I became a divorcee, and after some time, the church annulled it, decreeing it was never valid. What I will tell you is what came during this season. My niece, someone raised alongside who I looked at like a sister, died. And 16 months later, our family lost her sister in an accident. And during all that, I lost my uncle, a man who was a symbol of strength to me, and other extended family members, one after another. Then the loss of friendships, because it was just too hard for many to be around me. And just like that, the life I thought I would have was gone. During the legal process of this, I also had to give up a significant part of what I had worked hard to build, financially, in order to protect my art business, something that is deeply personal to me. I also lost other material things, like the house I worked on for many years. I'm not sharing all of this to create a dramatic list of suffering. I'm sharing it because the accumulation of it is the point. Suffering is an inescapable part of life. It wasn't one hard thing. It was years of loss compounding while I still tried hard to hold it all together. In the beginning of this season of suffering, it was so dark that I contemplated ending my own life because it seemed like the only escape from the pain, and it would mean I didn't have to go through anymore. By the grace of God, I was set free through a phone call with a stranger on a hotline. I came to realize I was letting other people's decisions define my worth, and I almost believed that their actions were because I deserved it. In the name of Jesus, I renounce those lies. Most people assume that if you have faith, things should work out because you have God's favor somehow. Like so many Christians, that's not how it happened to me. I wasn't experiencing heaven on earth like I thought I would. Jesus never promised it to be an easy life on earth, only in heaven. But we also boast in our sufferings, knowing that suffering produces endurance, and endurance produces character, and character produces hope. And hope does not disappoint, because God's love has been poured out into our hearts through the Holy Spirit that has been given to us. Romans chapter 5, verses 3 through 5. What followed that in was shame, isolation. People were judging me based on a story that wasn't even true. Ugly messages, cold shoulders, a narrative I couldn't correct without making things worse. A friend and mentor gave me some of the hardest advice I've ever received. He told me to be true to who I am and not stop. He said, one day you'll be judged by the fruit of your life, not by the lies. My pride desperately wanted to defend itself, to tell the world what actually happened, to be seen as the victim. But I chose silence. And the silence forced me to learn something that I've never been good at: letting go. I've always been the one who made the plan and executed it. Not someone who goes with the flow, someone who made the flow. And now I had to release control, even of the narrative. It forced me to stop caring about what other people thought. I can't control that anyway. I did what a lot of men in this situation do. I went into rebuild mode with boosters. I did long distance running, martial arts, committed training. I doubled down on my work. I doubled my salary and became the youngest director in my role. And I started various business ventures. On the outside, it looked like discipline. And a large part of it was, but a lot of it was pain redirected into performance. I wasn't falling apart anymore, but I wasn't healed. And this is where a lot of us men get it wrong. We think if we can just perform better, build more, achieve more, we'll somehow fix what's broken inside. But I learned something the hard way. You can build success and still be broken. Deep down, here's what I actually believed during those years: that I had to prove I was worthy of God's love through what I did. I doubted that God was good. I doubted that He cared about me. I even questioned if I had ever really known God at all. I felt abandoned, betrayed by people, by community, by the church, and by God Himself. I thought He was sitting silently while everything burned down. I honestly saw Him as cruel. And when I was beaten down and broken, I lay asking, how did I get here? A very personal side of this story: when I resented God the Father, our Heavenly Mother, in the image of Our Lady of Guadalupe, and Saint Joseph, were significant presences in my healing. They felt less intimidating, and it was easier to start there when I didn't feel like working things out with the Father yet. Also, there's something about asking for intercession, about not trying to do it alone, that breaks through the pride of a man who believes he can outperform anything. That was the real beginning of surrender. I hit a wall where I couldn't outwork it anymore, couldn't outthink it, couldn't plan my way out. I had to surrender. Not a plan, not control, surrender. Healing didn't look the way I expected. It wasn't fast, it wasn't efficient, it didn't follow a 5-point plan. I went through years of programs and doing the work, but what changed everything was letting God heal me, instead of trying to heal myself. What was most powerful was letting go of resentment towards God and others, forgiving people that hurt me, even learning to let go of resentments towards myself. Slowly, His voice became clearer. Like most of us, my healing wasn't linear, but the man who came out on the other side, I wouldn't have built towards Him before. I honestly didn't know I had that strength in me. I became healthier in mind, body, and soul. I found a new level of compassion I've never had before, a quiet strength that no longer needed to prove anything. And I'll be honest, my pride almost kept me stuck. My need to be right, my need to be seen in a certain way. If I had held on to that, I would have stayed there. During my single years, I dated, but I found it genuinely hard to find someone who I was really looking for. Not just someone to be with, a real partner, someone who was in it with me, someone who didn't want to leave the moment the relationship required work. I had always wanted to be a father, and I carried that quiet grief because I hadn't reached that point. And so I waited. I kept doing the work, I kept building, and I kept asking God, is this part of your plan too? And then I met my wife. We aligned almost instantly, not because it was perfect or easy, but because we both wanted to build the same life. She chose me fully, and I chose her fully. And she encouraged me to go deeper into my purpose, not just tolerated it. She was also on board with having a family, the thing I always wanted and the thing I thought I might never have. It was a true grace in my life. And I knew this wasn't just a relationship working out. This is what God had been building me towards this whole time. Today, my life looks really different. I'm married in the church. I'm a father and a stepfather, and I don't take any of it lightly. Life is not perfect. I'm not standing here telling you everything is easy, but there is stability now I didn't have before. And that stability built slowly over years through surrender and healing. It's given me freedom that I've never had before. Freedom to show up more fully for the people that I love. Freedom to give myself more generously. Freedom to be the fullest version of who God made me to be. I look back at the suffering, the grief, the loss, the years in the wilderness, and I am beyond grateful. Quoting J.R.R. Tolkien, what punishments of God are not gifts? The mystery of faith is you can one day love the suffering of the cross that brought our personal resurrection and new life. None of us are going to make it out of here alive, and we have to be grateful for this gift we have. Looking back, God never left me. He was there through the people who stayed, through the small moments of grace I was too broken to recognize, through Our Lady of Guadalupe, through St. Joseph, the patron of fathers and workers, and through the angels, through the mentor who told me the truth when I needed it most. I just couldn't see any of it because of the pain. I was so focused on where God wasn't showing up the way I want that I missed all of the ways that He actually was. I have hope in the truth from Revelation that He will wipe away every tear from their eyes. Death will be no more. Mourning and crying and pain will be no more. For the first things have passed away. Now I feel compelled to help other men find confidence in their purpose, especially the ones who feel stuck and unable to live their purpose, who know that they were made for more, but don't know the next move, who have been running on performance and are tired of it, because I've been there. And I know that when a man finds clarity in his purpose and learns to live it generously, it gives life to everyone in his care. If your life isn't going according to plan, if you've had seasons of loss or confusion, if you're questioning God or questioning yourself, you're never as far gone as you think. Your life isn't over, but you may need to let go of the version of it, hopefully not in the ways that I had to do it. You'll have to let go of something in order to change, so God can build something deeper. My hope is that we can work together to bring about a powerful change in your life before you have to endure difficult suffering. The stability, the love, the freedom to give yourself, it gets put into place, not all at once, but it gets built. And if you're ready to figure out what that looks like, that's exactly what I do. I'm a career and purpose coach. My name is Cristóbal Almanza, and that's my story. To God be the glory.